So let's talk about where we go from here. I mean, spending is obviously expected to rise in the coming years, especially against the backdrop of Singapore being a super aging society. Going forward, what is our plan to sustain this rising spending? More taxes?
You actually need to have different sources and not rely just on one. Because if you rely just on one, then if anything happens, then you're stuck, right? So you'll see that our strategy is to have a variety of sources. It used to be that the largest, but not for this year, was the NIRC, the net income returns contribution. So that's the income on our reserves. That's one chunk. Then you have corporate income tax, which this year did particularly well. Then you have personal income tax, and you have GST. And then you have all the other miscellaneous things, right? So you've got a basket of revenue streams, and you want to make sure that you're not too overly reliant on any single one. And the other thing that we do, and Walter can explain this better than myself really, is the Singapore government works very, very hard to make sure that we don't swing between feast and famine. Because there may be some years that you do extremely well on taxes, and the next year you don't. But you can't budget like that. You can't budget just going on what actually is coming your way. You have to try and project, which was the thinking behind GST. We knew when we started thinking about it, which was back in 2018, we knew that at 2030, with our population aging, and 2030, 1 in 4 is going to be age 65 and above, there's going to be a lot of healthcare that's needed there. So you have to start early. And when you're looking at it from 2018, 2019, you have no guarantee as to what you're going to get in 2030 unless you put in place something which is a sustainable source of revenue, and that was GST. Then, of course, if you have other things that come along the way that boost up your revenue, then it gives you the opportunity, as we have in this year, to set aside monies for future needs, like our coastal resilience, like future energy, and so on. So we try very hard to smooth it out so that we don't have this sort of, wild swings.